He sometimes lost his shyness in jubilation and began dancing in ecstasy. And, some, and sometimes, being fully absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, he felt oneness and imitated the pastimes of Lord. Prahlad Maharaj sometimes felt that the Lord was far away from him and therefore called him loudly. When he saw that the Lord was before him, he was fully jubilant. Sometimes thinking himself one with the Supreme, he imitated the Lord's pastimes. And in separation from the Lord, he would sometimes show symptoms of madness. These feelings of a devotee will not be appreciated by impersonalists. One must go further and further into spiritual understanding. The first realization is impersonal Brahman, but one must go still further to realize Paramatma and eventually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is worshipped by the transcendental feelings of a devotee in relationship of Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. Here, the feelings of of Prahlad Maharaj were in mellows of Vatsalya, filial love and affection. As a child cries when led by his mother, when Prahlad Maharaj felt that the Lord was away from him, he began to cry, Nadati. Again, a devotee like Prahlad sometimes sees that Lord is coming from a long distance to pacify him, like a mother responding to a child saying, Dear, my dear child, do not cry, I am coming. Then the devotee, without being ashamed due to his surroundings and circumstances, begins to dance, thinking, Here is my Lord is coming. Thus, the devotee is in full ecstasy, sometimes imitates the pastimes of the Lord, just as the cowherd boys used to imitate the behavior of the jungle animals. However, he does not actually becomes the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj achieved the spiritual ecstasies described herein by his advancement in spiritual understanding. मज्ञान्तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरून् सयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So in this verse, Prahlad Maharaj episode where Prahlad Maharaj, when he's in chanting Lord's holy name, how he goes in ecstasy when he uh, sees Lord, he's in happy, taking pleasure. At the same time, when he sees Lord not close by, so uh, these uh, Srila Prabhupada mentions in purport, it's called Mahabhav. When devotee advances in Krishna consciousness and he goes beyond this bodily uh, bodily uh, attachments and deeply uh, when he is totally attached to Krishna, how he experiences these higher mellows in Krishna consciousness. In our parampara also we see so many acharyas, uh, they how experience this higher mellows in their spiritual life. Like we see uh, uh, Gaur Kishodar Babaji Maharaj, when he was in Navdeep, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur mentions in his own book how he was uh, experiencing this ecstasies in Krishna consciousness. Once uh, he was chanting Krishna Chaitanya, and then he closed his that kuti was having that home. He closed his doors. Almost 13 days he didn't open it. On 13 days he was just chanting Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, and he was beating his chest. He was pulling his ears and he's shouting, "Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna Chaitanya?" So when devotee goes in separation, many times in material world we see people are in separation of material things, material desires. Somebody lost his some mobile or something, people cry for material things. Because it's attachment. Because of attachment, you feel cry. When we lose our some near and dear ones, we cry because of attachment. Although different body, different instruments, but still because that attachment is created. Because of we in Sangha, धायतु विषा पुंसा संगस्तेषु जायते संगासन जायते कामा कामात् क्रोधो भी जायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मो सम्मोह स्मृति प्रंशात् बुद्धिनाश बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति तो धायतु विषा पुंसा संगस्य भी जायते when we associate with something we create attachment, feel that attached. So in material world, when we lose something, material things, we cry for that. Same thing when devotee advances in Krishna consciousness and he loses all attachment for material things. But attachment has to be somewhere. So that attachment is created in Krishna, holy name, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna as a person. And when that attachment is there, so when uh, sometimes there's so much in separation. We crave for that. Devotees crave for the Krishna's association. So Gaur Krishna's Babaji was in Kuti, he closed his doors and 13 days he was just crying for uh, Krishna's Krishna. So when that intense separation, a devotee experiences that intense separation, two things happens. When that intense separation, Krishna appears and he embraces devotee. That intense, when that devotee is in that intense separation, so that in the intense separation, Krishna appears and he embraces the devotee. Or sometimes Krishna gives such a highest pleasure to that devotee. She experiences in heart, Krishna is embracing in heart. Like gopis, they're in separation, Krishna is going away from them, but they are experiencing highest pleasure that intense separation. So we say in Vrindavan, there's Prem Sarovar. They are close to Nandagaon. Srimati Radharani and Krishna just sitting close by, just next to Jhula, on Jhula they're sitting. And then one Brahmar, he comes and he's just taking his lotus flowers, Krishna's lotus face, Radharani's lotus face, and it's a flower. And that Brahmar gets attracted towards face, and Srimati Radha is trying to keep that Brahmar away. And then suddenly Krishna calls Madhumaga. Madhumaga, come and just take this Brahmar away. So when Madhumagal takes him away and he shouts from there, Madhu has gone away. Now he will never come back. And as soon as Radharani hears that, Madhu has gone away. So Madhu is called to Krishna also. So Krishna just sitting next to her, but still she goes in that separation. And she cries and seeing Krishna, Radharani is crying, Krishna starts crying. And when Krishna starts crying, seeing Krishna crying, Radharani cries more. And both of them cry so much that tears from the tears, that lake is filled, and it's called Prem Sarovar, that comes from the tears. So uh, we see how Prahlad Maharaj is experiencing that highest uh, love for Krishna. And is mentioned sometimes uh, Lord has gone away from him, so therefore he calls him loudly. When he saw Lord is before him, then uh, he's jubilant. So in separation, Vipralamba Sambhoga devotees experience this Mahabhava in their life. And here Srila Prabhupada in purport mentioning uh, uh, this first realization is impersonal Brahman. Vadanti tat vidas ajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmati bhagwaniti shabdate. So Brahman realization is the first realization. Then it's called Paramatma realization, then Bhagwan realization. But impersonal realization, uh, person cannot experience these rasas. In Brahman realization, there's many places when we go for preaching, people ask, what do people do whole day? Means devotional service means you go to temple and Lord standing there as a deity, and then you just go fold hands, and that's all. What next do you do with the Lord? Just go fold hands or just offer obeisance. After that, what? Because they think Lord is just a statue or just a impersonal Brahman, so there's no activity. But when we go higher and higher, and then impersonal Brahman, then we realize Paramatma realization, and then we go to Bhagwan realization. So when we go to Bhagwan realization, there's so much activities. When we go outside, people ask, क्या करते हैं आप लोग whole day? Like when they come to GEV, there's so much activities going on. From day one, it's going on only. So there's so much rasas, and Prabhupada mentioned here Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakhyaras, Vatsalaras, then Madhurya rasa. So this melos devotee uh, religious, like in Shantarasa, so many, uh, although Krishna is releasing this pleasure from who are serving them in Shantaras. Trees are serving Lord Krishna, or birds, grass, clouds, river, all they are serving in Shantaras. When Krishna walks in Vrindavan, in Gokul, he is playing, doing uh, uh, pleasure, taking pleasures with boys. So when clouds say this little hot sun, immediately clouds will come under sun and they will give shade to Krishna. So clouds are serving in Shantaras. When Krishna walks nearby Jamuna, the pebbles and river bank, they will just get melt and they will wash Krishna's feet. So all pebbles, even grass, when Krishna walks on uh, that grass, so all this stiff grass will go away and soft grass will come under Krishna's feet, and they will serve as uh, soft bed for him, pathway for him. So all this trees, grass, they serve him in Shantaras. So, is there nothing in this whole world no one can serve Krishna? Anyone, some mountain or a stone or tree or anything. When Krishna walks pathway, Vrindavan, all these banana leaves they will come. These trees just start moving and gives Krishna this wonderful air. Like so this all these trees, everything, they are happy to give Krishna pleasure. So it's called Shantaras. Dasyaras also. Uh, when devotee advances from Shantaras to Dasyaras, so in Shantaras, like they're like udasin, not they don't speak, but they keep serving. But here in Dasyaras, the person comes and says, Krishna is mine, or I am Krishna's. So that feeling comes, and then you start serving. And in Dasaras, the devotee thinks, in my life, only activities give pleasure to Krishna's senses. That's only my life. We see in Hanumanji's life, on Lakshman's life, the pleasure is they don't think about what whole world will think or what others will think. This only consciousness is how can I serve Krishna? How can I give pleasure to Krishna's senses? So that's uh, Dasaras. And in Dasaras also we see like Arjuna is in Dasaras Jivira Swarup hai Krishna Nitya Das. So this Dasaras helps in all rasas, in Vatsalya, in Madhurya, even Vatsalya, all this, even Vrindavan also they have Dasyaras. Although, see, Dasyaras is uh, helping in to increase all these rasas. Like in Vrindavan, Rakta, Patrak, Madhukanta, Madhura, Rasal, all these devotees, Gopalas, they are in Dasyaras. So, like Sakyaras also, when that love, that attachment, it comes in Sneha, Bandha, when uh, it's like uh, a strong faith in Krishna's presence, it comes to then Sakyaras. But Sakyaras also, we see uh, Vrindavan and other places like Arjun, he is also in Sakyaras. But Arjuna Sakyaras is Aishwarya Misrit. Even Uddhava is a Sakyaras, but is in uh, Aishwarya Misrit. Where like Vrindavan, when they are in Sakyaras, Sridhama, Subal, all these are there also in Sakyaras. But uh, when Arjuna in Sakyaras, but when he sees Vishwarup, as soon as Mahabharata, he sees Vishwarup, and then he starts offering prayers, and he starts asking forgiveness. Oh Krishna, I was playing with you, I was like eating with you, and then please forgive me for that, whatever I created offenses. So like that, here that Aishwarya rise up. But here in Vrindavan, these sakhas, although they see Aishwarya, but they don't get uh, by that Aishwarya, impressed by that Aishwarya. Although when they see Aishwarya, they say, no, no, it's like when they go for Makhan Chori, uh, Krishna says they have tied bells on that earthen pot, and in all doors, everywhere there, gopis have tied bells. So Krishna sees, and Krishna tells, so all these sakas, see, gopis are very smart. They have tied bells. So, but don't worry, I will take care of the whole thing. So how? So I will tell bells not to ring. So like, but what happens if it rings and then everybody will get caught? No, no, don't worry. I am there. You don't understand. When I killed Putana, I have killed Putana. I have lifted Govardhan hill. So all these sakas they say, oh, acha, you killed Putana. Who says you killed Putana? Actually, Mother Yashoda was praying to Narayan, and Narayan killed Putana, not you killed the Putana. There is, you don't know. I had lifted Govardhan Hill. Like, who tells you lifted Govardhan Hill? Actually, all these Nanda Baba and all these Gopas, they had lifted, held with sticks. That's a Govardhan now. Because all Brajavasis, they feared so much to Govardhan. He became light, and everybody could lift the Govardhan. Not you lifted Govardhan. So, although he was telling his Aishwarya, but nobody is believing in Vrindavan. So, that's Sakhyaras. And uh, Vatsalya. Nanda Baba Yashoda. In Kunti Maharani prays, "Kya, oh my Lord, uh, you are Purna Purushottam Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how can your fear uh, personified fears of you, and then how you just by Yashoda's small stick, you are so scared, trembling, whole body is trembling, you're crying, your tears are washing you. So, how can I believe this, or how can I understand this? Not believe, how can I understand these past times? Ki, your supreme personality of God, and you want fear personify for a person fears of you, and you are scared of Mother Yashoda's stick. So this Vatsalya, that's in that Vatsalya, the the person, the devotee, he thinks, uh, I am the caretaker of Krishna. I have to protect him. That's the Vatsalya. When Krishna appeared in Mathura in front of Nanda, in front of Vasudeva and Devaki, he appeared in four forms, 400 forms, Chaturbhuj Rupa, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. And just because uh, Devaki has seen six children were killed, and she was fearful. So just to remove her fear, Krishna appeared in 400 forms. But when Krishna appeared in 400 forms, Chaturbhuj Rupa, so Devaki saying, "Oh Krishna, I just become a small child, where I can just hide you from Krishna Kamsa." Uh, So, although he appeared to remove her fear, but she is saying, "No, no, you become a small child." So this Vatsalya, how can I protect Krishna? How can I take care of Krishna? So Srila Prabhupada is saying these rasas devotee can relish, but those are impersonalist. They can't release this because they don't have that uh, form, or they don't have a person where they can have relations with, uh, and they can release that. So this uh, and Madhurya, where uh, like a sugar cane juice, and then if you boil sugar cane juice, and from that you get the higher taste, good you jaggery you get, then sugar you get, and then sugar candy you get. So these rasas, when they're boiled, when you get higher and higher, and you get that uh, madhurya, where nijanga dan, where you surrender everything, you offer everything for Krishna's pleasure, then you don't have any, not a single thing with you, your name, fame, everything you just offer to Krishna. Like what we see, Srimati Radharani or gopis, how they are surrender to Krishna. So this Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhya, all these rasas, when devotee worship Lord as a Bhagwan and have reciprocation with Lord, same this Mahabhav, how Prahlad Maharaj is uh, calling for Lord, he goes in separation. Same thing we see in Lord Chaitanya's life, how he was in separation of uh, Lord, specifically when Rath Yatra time, how Lord is uh, experiencing that mood of Mahabhav, that separation in Madhya Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila. uh, 13th chapter, we see Rath Yatra, a pastime, how Lord Chaitanya is dancing and experiencing that bhava. प्रभु नित्य देखी लौके है चमत्कार अन्य आचुक जगन्नाथेर आनंद अपार. When people saw Lord Chaitanya dancing, so everyone was astonished by dancing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And not only people, even Lord Jagannath became extremely happy to see how Lord Chaitanya is in ecstasy dancing. रथ स्थिर कैला आगे न कर गमन अमीन अनिमिष नेत्र करे नृत्य दर्शन. So Lord Jagannath cart, the cart came to complete standstill and remain immobile, while Lord Jagannath, with unblinking eyes, watched the dancing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Jagannath was experiencing that joy, how Lord Chaitanya in ecstasy, that Mahabhav is dancing, and Rath was standstill. Even unimish. Jagannath, Lord Jagannath didn't want it, not a nimish. He didn't wanted to lose that moment. Subhadra region as they also when they see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing, both of them were like a smiling. उड़ान नृत्य प्रभुर अद्भुत विकार अष्ट सात्विक भाव उदय हय समकाल. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, eight wonderful transformations indicate of divine ecstasy were seen in his body. All these symptoms were visible simultaneously. Also, Ashtavikar Mahabhav, uh, how Srimati Radharani, when in Krishna's presence, and sometimes when Krishna is not present, Srimati Radharani experiences Mahabhav, how we see in Madhavendra Puri. So this Mahabhav, Lord Chaitanya appeared, Krishna appeared in Bhav of Radharani, and Lord Chaitanya seeing Krishna, Jagannath as Krishna, he is also experiencing that uh, bhava, and that how that Ashtavikar seen in Lord Chaitanya's body. Masurana Samaroma, Runda Pulakit, Shimuri Rakshayena Kantaka Vestit. The skin erupted with pimples, and the hairs of his body stood on end. His body resembled the simile, silk cotton tree, all covered with thorns. Simile tree, we see that how uses the cotton comes from that. So whole body of Lord Chaitanya becomes like that. Whole body was like a oozed. So एक एक दंतेर कंप देखी तिलागे भय लोक जाने दंत सब खसिया पड़े. This scene, indeed, people become afraid just to see his teeth chattered. Kar, kar, that teeth were uh, chattering. And they even thought that his teeth will fall out. And Lord Chaitanya was experiencing that uh, mood of separation. And सर्वांगे प्रस्वेद छूटे ताते रक्तोद्गम जजग गदगद वचन. Lord Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu's whole body flowed with perspiration and at the same time oozed blood. His, he made the sounds jajagaga in a voice choked with ecstasy. In that ecstasy, he is calling Jagannath, but in ecstasy, he is not able to call Jagannath. He is calling jajagaga. So in that ecstasy, he is experiencing. जल यंत्र धारा ऐचे वही अस्त्र जल आशेपाशे लोक यत भिजल सकल. So tears came forcefully from the eyes of the Lord, as if from a syringe, and all the people surrounding him became wet. So that the tears not just flowing on cheeks, the tears like a syringe flowing, and surrounding people they were getting wet just by Lord Chaitanya's tears. देह कांति गौर वर्ण देखिए अरुण कभो कांति देखे ए न मल्लिका पुष्पसम. So everyone saw the complexion of his body change from white to pink, so that his luster resembled that of a mallika flower. Whole body color was also uh, changing. कभू स्तंभ कभू प्रभु भूमि ते लौटाए शुष्क काष्ठ समपद हस्त न चलाए. Sometimes he appeared stunned, and sometimes he rolled on the ground. Indeed, sometimes his legs and hands became as hard as dry wood, and he did not move. Huh? So, when Lord Chaitanya was experiencing that ecstasy, we see the Srivas Angan when Lord Chaitanya was dancing. So he used to dance so high, jump so high, and he fall from that. So 8 feet, 10 feet, he was dancing. Sometimes so light. So devotees is like a cotton. Devotees had taken hands and taken from each other. So in that ecstasy, so Sachi Mata praying, "Oh Lord, uh, uh, Narayan, please let him not get any injuries." No, so uh, devotees is to get in pain when they used to see Lord is uh, uh, experiencing that ecstasy. And कबो नेत्रेण आसाय जल मुखे पड़ फेन अमृतेर धारा चंद्र बिंबे वहेन. And when the Lord fell to the ground, sometimes his breathing almost stopped. When devotees saw this, their lives also became very feeble. Sometimes it fall in fall on ground, and sometimes his breathing is to stop, and sometimes the devotees to get in fear. What happened to Lord? Mm. So say फेन ला शुभानंद कैलपान कृष्ण प्रेम रसिकते हो महाभाग्यवान. And water flowed from his eyes and sometimes through his nostrils, and foam fell from his mouth. These fl- uh, flowings appeared to be torrents of nectar descending from his moon. And at the same time, that when he was dancing and falling, that foam came from his mouth. And Shubhananda, devotee, he just took and he drank that and is saying that uh, Shubhananda, because he was very fortunate and expert in relishing the mellows of ecstasy and law of Krishna. So, ए मत तांडव नृत्य कैला का तक्षण भाव विशेष प्रभुर प्रवेशिला मन. And uh, like this, after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had performed his devastating dance for some time, his mind entered into a mood of ecstatic love. And like this, uh, he was experiencing that mood of suppression, seeing Lord Jagannath there, but at the same time that seeing also, sometimes devotees feel that suppression, like we see in Prem Sarovar, how Krishna is sitting next to Radharani, but still Radharani experiencing that separation. And when uh, Lord Chaitanya with Sankirtan team is coming behind the cart, and When Lord Jagannath doesn't see Lord Chaitanya, again Jagannath is going in extras in separation, and stops the cart. He want to see Lord Chaitanya dancing. Then everybody's trying to pull cart. Even Indradar Maharaj calling all uh, big people. Sometimes elephants coming, they're pulling the rath, but rath is not moving. And then Lord Chaitanya goes behind and just uh, touches his head to rath cart, and then rath moves. And then again, like when Jagannath sees Lord Chaitanya coming front, and he takes the rath ahead. So this mood of ecstasy, when that bhava, devotee experiencing that separation, intense separation, like we see Prahlad Maharaj is calling loudly Lord's holy name, and that ecstasy, sometimes he's crying, sometimes he's chanting loudly, he sometimes expresses pleasure, sometimes in that mood, he starts acting. Lord's, is said here, sometimes he like a goes in mood of Lord. Uh, this in Maharashtra, this Abhanga says, ki, meets a Vittal Zalo, ki, I am a Vittal, I am Krishna. Sometimes devotee goes in that mood. And Balram sometimes goes in that mood, I am Krishna. Uh, So, but although they go in that mood, but they don't think I am Krishna. Uh, That mood becomes Krishna, that bhava, Krishna. They experience that uh, bhava, and like in we say when Krishna leaves gopis, and then gopis they go and serve Krishna, and when this searching for Krishna, and in that separation they start acting Krishna's pastimes. Somebody becomes Krishna, and then somebody becomes Putana, and then Krishna killing Putana. All these pastimes the gopis are acting. So sometimes devotee, when they experience that separation, and that in separation they act as Krishna, like Krishna, and then um, and that's called uh, bhava, mahabhava, where the separation devotees experience. So although we are hearing these pastimes, how devotees, advanced devotees, they experiences this mood of different mellows, but how Srila Ravi Goswami uh, uh, mentions in Updeshamrita and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, although we read these pastimes and how devotees are uh, releasing this, but as a sadhaka, we have to uh, practice this sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi bhakti, and then comes raga bhakti. But many times what happens, sometimes people they read these pastimes and they start acting like that, because so many we see all these saints or gopis or all these uh, devotees are crying, and when somebody starts crying like that, in some places we see people sometimes they make a show of crying for Krishna, but it's like a uh, somebody doesn't experience that in that mellows and just externally starts crying. It's like a somebody's uh, um, just putting some clothes and showing that pregnancy and just shouting, but that doesn't mean that child will come. Uh, so if you don't have that mellows, that purification in heart, or that attachment for Krishna, then just by external crying will not uh, uh, create gives the Krishna love for Krishna. So first is practice is sadhana bhakti, vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jivha vegam, udarapastha vegam. Now slowly by practicing sadhana bhakti, this naturally this swabhavik Krishna gives this love and this attraction. Our uh, bhajana sadhu sangha bhajana kre anartha nirutti. Then nishta, then all this attachment and everything, bhava and prema, Krishna gives when devotee is practicing sincerely. That's what we see in Prahlad Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, any question, any comments?
No, thank you very much, Raghunath Prabhu, for all the right from the Santa Rasa and Dasya and all. I was just thinking about this Prahlad Maharaj's Bhav, which is something which unheard of. See, Vatsalya Bhav is devotee wants to see the Lord as a child. But here, Prahlad is seeing the Lord as parents. Now, where does it fit in? No? Just definitely it is not Santaras. Should we say it is Dasya? That is also, it is not Sakya. It is not definitely Vatsalya. Madhurya, no question. So this type of rasa, which I think first time, see, Dhruv Maharaj also had when he saw, but it was more of Aishwarya, Dasya, you can say. But here specifically, Prahlad is acting as if like a child, longing for his parents. So one question, what type of a rasa is this, which is not mentioned, right? Does it fit into any?
So,
I hope
that
I made my question clear. No?
what Prahlad Maharaj is experiencing, because Prabhupada ahead is saying it's a Mahabhava. A devotee experiences the Mahabhava. But here, like parents goes away and child cries.
It's what
That's the
mentioned. It's
that's
like
the
a
mention.
child
Yeah,
expressing its
yeah, child
feeling,
experiencing.
separation for parents. So now that is not Vatsalya Bhav, right? It is not Vatsalya, right?
But it's like a separation of Lord. He's crying.
So you can say just Vipralamba, that's all.
Vipralamba,
But
Sambhoga
in
Vipralamba. That's a rasa.
these different
Uh,
rasas which
Not in
continue,
Bhagavatam also mentioned it's a Vatsalya or anything. Rasa is not mentioned.
rasa is not mentioned. So
It's just
not,
in longing, separation is crying for Lord. Which rasa is not mentioned in here? Maybe some of you
yeah,
may
I
have
want
some points
Sridhar
that
Nimai
you
Prabhu,
can
you want to
explain.
comment on this? The Rasika Bhaktas.
That
Kartasaka was
in purport Prabhupada is mentioning about Shanta, Das and all these things. But what Prahlad, only about Prahlad mentions is in separation is crying for Lord. That's like a devotee is crying for Lord. And then like we see Madhavendra Puri is in longing is crying for Lord. Baba Gaurkishal Babaji is crying for Lord. It's a devotee crying for Lord. But what rasa we can take add this. I think we can have a search and if somebody has any comment on that.
So
Yes.
माइक में बोलो ना बोलेंगे नहीं तो सुनेंगे क्या
I heard that somewhere I don't know, but I think that I heard that Prahlad Maharaj was in Santaras. Glorification, giving glorification to Lord, that is also comes under Santaras, like Sukdev Goswami. He is giving lecture or giving presentation of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he is in Santaras. I think that glorification also, those who are glorifying, just giving some bandana, prayers, okay, not directly serving, but serving like this is considered as in Santaras. I heard somewhere, but reference I can't. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please.
Something which I heard. I know these things are very exalted. Let we talk about all this bhava. We hearing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God himself, but as for devotees, I heard this one. Govind Prabhu is asking this question to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Maharaj, we see there are many Prabhupada disciples who have so much love for Prabhupada. And they express that, only Prabhupada. And as soon as Prabhupada's name is mentioned, they are in tears, gratitude. But same time, we see that they are not following regulative principles. It's a very, I mean, this is between them and Prabhupada, but they're not chanting or something. So, what does it mean? What type of a feeling is this relationship? This was a question asked. So, Maharaj is saying, obviously, they have affection for Prabhupada. So, eventually, Prabhupada will take them. But these feelings of, there are different levels. But real feeling is when you act in such a way which is pleasing to the Guru. So means you show affection, but you're not doing what is pleasing to the Guru, then it is a sentiment. Maharaj is saying. Same time, their relationship, Prabhupada, we can't understand, who is going to do. So the point is, whatever feelings you have, sadhana is very important. That feeling is there, that doesn't mean that you don't do what will please him. Now, one thing is very sure that Prabhupada wanted all of us to chant 16 rounds or following. So, in this context of all this bhava, so I just remembered this. I'm sharing with you what. So, sadhana is something which we should be very much serious about, even if there is a bhava feeling.
That's a,
I hope I got,
yeah, sure,
I
sure.
expressed it properly.
Yeah, thank you, thank
हाँ,
you.
कुछ ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोला ना सब क्या बोल रहा है कुछ कंफ्यूज हो रहा है I just
Love,
heard this. I'm just sharing with you what.
thanks, brother. Because love is shown by how you care for details.
Hmm.
So if you love Lord, then what He wants. Like when
Hmm.
Lord Ramchandra and Bharat, Bharat Milan Chitrakuta happens. So it mentioned ki Lord Ramchandra said, okay, what love you're showing? I'm uh, in front of you, I lost. He is so much impressed by his love. But uh, love is shown what whom we love, what he wants. Then Lord Ram says, okay, I accept Bharat come to give me this Ayodhya kingdom. I accept this kingdom. Uh, But for 14 years, just take care of this kingdom. So Lord Ramchandra, he accepted the kingdom. Then he says, now you for 14 years for my pleasure, you take this. So sometimes to die for somebody, it's easy. To leave somebody, it's very difficult. Sometimes for lover. To, to die for lover, it's sometimes easy. Then sometimes to live for his pleasure is difficult sometimes. Like Bharat we see. For him to stay in Chitrakoot for 40 years, it was easy for him. But to go back and take care of kingdom, it was more difficult for him. But still, he had to do that. He did it. He did. Yeah. So this. Thank you. Santra Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai
jai.
Hare
Srila
Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.